go. There were some citizens who had a discussion on social media about Monument Park, and I felt it was worth at least. Oh, and we also didn't do the veterans. I thought it was worth bringing it to the floor. I know that I've been lobbying for new lights, benches, and period, all in period Victorian style, and also planters, as well as we have to keep repainting the flagpole, and it was brought to my attention that that needs done again, and we have to rent equipment and go up high and paint it. So I also think replacing that with an aluminum flagpole would be a very appropriate improvement to the park. But the reason I bring it up now is because the discussion centered around two things. One was the education to make sure that everybody is aware they need a permit to have a formal event, no matter how innocent it is, at Monument Park. And I think that the message is received by this individual, but I did find a copy of our ordinance, but it's behind some plexiglass. It's hard to read through. It's weathered. And so I thought maybe we could do a sign to that effect that, there's an ordinance and you must have a signed agreement to conduct business, so to speak. That's number one. But number two is the other thing that was brought up is a lot of the lights don't work, and they're very few and far between, and there are people in there after dark, and it is now closing at, it's dawn to dusk, so it's supposed to close as soon as the sun sets, and that means the time varies, so you can't say a specific time. And it is for the safety of the residents in that area and the businesses, and I would like that. I think we have, at the very least, money in our ARPA funds that we could allocate if we could get Danielle and our staff and maintenance to work together to get some pricing for us and a plan. I'd love to see that get done. I think there's so much interest and history in that park, and I just place that on the table for your consideration. If everybody's in agreement, we could move ahead with it to get those quotes and come back for a vote another time, but on the pricing. But if you want to wait for some reason, that's fine too. But I wanted to make sure it didn't get pushed aside. We had some people in, a year, maybe it was before the pandemic, and they were looking to do improvements, and we made some.
Yeah, we did.
But we have a ways to go, and I'd like to get it finished up. It is a county park. We were assigned to take care of this park by our forefathers, and it went through the state legislature and everything. So I just feel very strongly about this, and that's why I wanted to have a discussion and ask for that consideration.
Okay. Comment?
Well, I would not be opposed to, when Jamie gets back, to have a conversation with Ian and have explore the possibilities and associated costs. But I think it's also I'd like to bring up that there are people in our community, especially veterans organizations, that this park is sort of hallowed ground. While it's not a grave site, it is a monument was established to honor Civil War veterans who died in service from Lebanon County. And there are people that feel we should have no events there. And I think that should be part of the discussion to see if we should revisit that ordinance, but at the very least do it. It should be properly signed so that people know.
And the signage, I understand, and again, the things that I'm proposing would be used whether there's an event or not. And it does go to public safety, especially after dark with the lighting and things of that nature.
And they're not supposed to be there anyway.
They're not supposed to be there. And then I informed this person, but the people have to know in the neighborhood that enforcement is by, when somebody sees somebody, you have to call the police so they can come out and take care of it. They can't be in all places at all times. So it's like the squeaky wheel getting oiled, and people need to call the police when they see some activity that is not appropriate after dark, so.
Okay, well, I agree with Mike. Let's talk, I agree to discuss it further, but I would prefer to have Jamie here and make it
Okay.
a...
And we'll do a motion at a later date. That's fine, I'm good with that. I just wanted to get the ball rolling, and I didn't want it, the people, because there was quite a few commenters, I didn't want them to think we didn't care about the neighborhood, and we really care about the park, and I would like to project that with our actions at some point in the near future.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for reminding me about the veterans exemptions. We do have one more piece of business. We need a motion